What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash Come Back Real Takes. Well, with trailer stuff for the movie Avatar Fire and Ash, and let me tell you, your girl over here is happy. Yes, I have been waiting very patiently for something to drop for this film. This is one of my most anticipated films of the year. So I've been just wondering if we were going to get something maybe this summer, or close, going more closer to the end of the summer, maybe it's like September. And hey, I'm happy. I can see that clearly, being that it's going around, of course, with San Diego Comic Con. I should have had an idea, might possibly something might drop and all that, but I'm not going to assume anything. But a lovely treat to start off the week. This movie I love the story, the way James Cameron is telling it while we're getting this in stages. I know some individuals are like, okay, first movie came out in 2009, and for the longest time, I think as he put it, he wanted to do sequels. I know he said if they were successful, he would do them, and I'm glad he chose it because when I first saw it, I was enamored. Some people think it's underrated, and it's all right with that. It's not your cup of tea, but clearly it's a lot of people's cup of tea because the movie seems to do very well at the box office. And I'm one of those people that helped it along. Now, with that being said, being introduced to Neytiri and Jake slowly, I just love seeing, them go from, of course, her not liking him because he definitely, was enamored of her and building up, of course, a little bit of friendship that turned into love and then certain things happen. A little bit of betrayal and all that, but then him rising to the occasion to prove, his work amongst her people, and then, other things culminating with that, wanting to be with them, wanting to be an avatar, being amongst Pandora. I just loved everything about it, the cinematography, the visuals, the story. It was just something different, unique, fresh at the time. And with that, knowing that we had gotten an upcoming sequel, even though it was over a decade later, I want to say pretty much 13 years later, it comes out in 2022, when we got, of course, Avatar: The Way of the Water. Of course, going into that one, being introduced to them, and now they're together. They have their own family. I want to see if I can say the names. Neytami, I'm saying this correctly. Loak, Took and Kiri. Now, I love the dynamic of all the siblings, how they are. And of course, definitely with Kiri, because I'm still wanting to know a little bit more about her. Remember when she was dealing with the spirit tree and had the epilepsy, moment and all that. Of course, her being the child from the Avatar of Graces, played by Sigourney Weaver. And of course, Sigourney Weaver playing, of course, Kiri as well. I just want to know how that came to be. Hopefully, as time goes on with each individual story moving forward to the conclusion with the last and final one, we get a little bit more understanding because I just feel like that's something that you need to, especially when there's a scene with her defending her and two of the siblings to or children to, I want to say that what is it? Let me see if I'm saying it right. The what is it? Meg Hyena clan. I think Tonawari and Renal. Just trying to remember a lot of names of some of the people from the aquatic, eastern seas. That's where they, of course, go to when they're trying to avoid dealing with the villain, Colonel, the Colonel. So that right there was, very interesting in that moment when she did that because they didn't know what to understand, like what's going on, because she wasn't supposed to, use whatever her abilities are because she seemed to just become very at peace in the water, underneath the water and all that. And that was just really interesting. Even when you saw the spiritually, aka Ronald, catching moments of the way she was in the water. So I hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that in this new, movie. But I just love that. I want to see what's going to happen with Spider. Of course, they don't know he did help Colonel, but he is his father. The guilt and all that, he couldn't do it, and I can slightly understand it. But trust and believe me, Mama Bear, Neytiri would not be too happy. She probably thought he did, and then I know Jake probably thought he did too. So it's gonna be real interesting when the reveal comes up because I feel like that might be a reveal in this film. We'll see when we watch it, but that as well. And then just getting introduced to some new characters. Of course, we dealt with the air with the first one, we dealt with the war in the second one, now we're dealing with fire in the third one. So I just love how, just playing off these different things in all the different films. It just makes it just definitely something different, refreshing. I just can imagine what the visuals are going to look like. I know this has been going on for a while, that he's been doing this going back to, I think they said, was it 2017 when he was in the mix of making the third installment of the film, and I think they wrapped up somewhere around, I think, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can always, correct me, but just knowing that he's already ahead, on some of these films, and as we're talking. knowing him and some of the cast are already working on the fourth installment. So just, I'm always enamored, with, the things that go along with making films and all, and people thinking, oh, they just started working this, they can be working this 2 years ago, can work on this 5 years ago. We would never know until we go in there and we just get enamored with the film. So just wanted to say that I know I've been rambling on and all that, but I just want to get this out of my system because I know I'm going to talk about the actual trailer and what I'm seeing in that one. So with that said, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll save the rest of my thoughts and then you guys.
The strength of the ancestors is here.
Look at the visuals already. Oh my God. Hmm. What's
You
going?
cannot live like this, baby. In hate.
If there is something you can do, then you must do it.
Ooh. Ooh.
The children. No, 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 Spider.
Oh no.
And we will find another way.
No, that's right. Ooh. Jesus. Oh,
Your
it's an
goddess has no dominion here.
oh wow. All right, you guys. I enjoyed this trailer. I mean, I'm really going to be truly mesmerized the entire time, but this looks really good. Now, I'm already captivated when I saw the scene where you can clearly see the way they come across. You see like the ash and all that, and you come, and get introduced to this new was a Navi tribe. And when you see this particular one talking to Kiri, and I just had to find out who is playing the character. I want to say Varang or Varang. I don't know how to pronounce it yet. You know, new characters and all that. I will find out when I go see the movie. But I see that the character's played, by I want to say his name is Una Chaplin. I recognized her from Game of Thrones as soon as I saw that face. I'm like, oh my God, okay, great. This will be very interesting because right there, when you're messing with one of mama's, cubs, don't play that. You already tell that Tyrion's not here for this. So I can already see it's going to be a little bit more aggressive with this particular tribe. I don't think we really had it at that links with, the other one from Manila Pandora with dealing with Kunawari and his wife. The sons, of course, gave a little, push, when it came to Loak, but other than that, a little bit of the bully and all that, and of course their daughter, falling from and all that, just cute little young love story. But this right here is on a whole nother level. Also, wondering if it looks like the Colonel eventually finds his way to them because he was going to different tribes, trying to locate them at the time until they finally had their showdown and whichever. But that's going to be very interesting. And again, villain, of course, thinking he died, came back, but we all know from the second, installment what happened. They just didn't realize it. So you could clearly see they're going to definitely get the reveal of him showing up, whatever it is. Of course, he's going to surprise him come out the blue. I hope he doesn't rat him out, but I don't know if the guilt of Spider, fessing up or saying something. If Jake's like, I thought I came, but this is this. I know it's not in Spider's nature not to help someone, regardless of what that man's done. That man's done a lot. He's taken many lives. So I'm curious, and I'll admit it too, because somebody might say it even in the comments or somebody else's comment, under their reaction. When is he gonna get his just due? Because that's what I want to know. I'm tired of, but I don't know if it adds to it, but it's like him adding to what? I'd rather see, of course, what's going to happen with this new tribe and all that, because clearly it's going to be a clash. But him, you just keep showing up with it all and just integrating yourself into the situation, all that, making it, worse where we're dealing with all these different tribes trying to come together. But this one, we're like, they don't, like, we don't need nothing. We're good over here. Y'all can stay over here. Why are you here? So unless they show up there, unannounced, uninvited, and this causes, this kind of ruckus, and then it kind of gets out of hand because they're just like this. And I'm wondering if it's because the kids do it again, going off again. I saw the scene where Lois pushes his dad. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know if it's still early on in the movie where it's maybe the guilt of what happened with his brother, him feeling somewhat maybe at fault a little bit in regards to, I don't know. Just, thinking outside the box, we all know how they always edit, scenes for trailers. And then the part about the hate, I don't know if that's going, in regards to the situation with the tribe or with some unresolved issues from previously from the last film, certain things maybe with Spider being around the family. I don't know, but I'm gonna get to the bottom when I see it because I already know when I finally do see it, I'm gonna have lots to say when I do my review about this film. But I'm loving it. I will say right now, not sure if I'm going to watch another trailer for it. This gives me just enough that I'm already down because day one. I'm like, let's just be real. I don't need anything else to help push me along. Just said December 19th, the week of Christmas. Thank you, Jesus. I was glad. Not to say if it came out on Christmas, I still wouldn't go. I would, but I'm glad it's comes out like that. And if I want to see it again after the Christmas holiday, then I can enjoy it again because I already know I'm not going to see it just once. I know I'm going to see it multiple times. I did that with the second one and I did that with the first one. So I'm just really looking forward to this one. And it looks really good. Her presence walking up to Kira right there in that scene, Varang or Varang, just was just like, oh, she just exquisite. She looks beautiful. Just the way they have her overall aesthetic. So yes, I am here for this, guys. Oh, I cannot wait. So with that said, comment below. Let me know what you all think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.